Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, Arsenal correspondent at Goal, back for another one of these videos. As always, I hope you're well, and thank you for continuing to support this fairly new YouTube channel and watching my videos and hitting subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Down there, there's a button down there somewhere. Just hit subscribe and I'll continue to try and keep you updated with all the news and views and opinions surrounding Arsenal Football Club at the moment. Just going to be a quick one today, just popped on. I'm just running a story at the moment that's gone out on Goal regarding Arsenal's interest in a young Norwegian winger. So I thought I'd come on here and just sort of talk about it a little bit, about where the possible move is, how it's come about, and how things might move forward over the coming weeks ahead of the summer. So Arsenal are looking to potentially do a deal for a 19-year-old Norwegian winner called George Lewis. He's got Norwegian citizenship, but he was born in Rwanda. It's an interesting one, really, because, I mean, he's 19 years old, so it's not like he's a youngster, and he's not really done anything of note in his career. His last few clubs have been in the third tier of Norwegian football. And when you sort of compare that to England, I mean, you're talking non-league level there. He's been floating around for a while, had a couple of clubs in those lower tiers in Norway, and that's about it, really. You know, far from a big name, anything like that, but he's popped up on Arsenal's radar, and Arsenal had him over earlier in the year for a trial. As far as I'm aware, he also had a bit of a spell at Ipswich, and there was also a chance of something with Bournemouth. And Arsenal had him over for a trial, and he impressed during that trial. It was initially a week, and I think it was extended for a longer period of time, maybe another week or so. He's since returned back to Norway, but Arsenal are certainly pursuing the option of turning this into a permanent deal. Now, George Lewis is currently a free agent, so he's not going to. If a deal is done, it's not going to be. It doesn't have to be done during a transfer window. Arsenal are free to sign him when they can, and they are in talks about trying to get that done. As far as I'm aware, like I said, Lewis did impress during his trial. He's very, very raw. I mean, he's 19. Like I said, he's not done anything in the sort of top level of Norwegian football. Far from it. He's been dotting around in the lower tiers in Norway. He's you know, he's going to be very much a work in progress. He's not going to go straight in, say, do a Martinelli or a Guendouzi, who in the last couple of years we've seen sort of come through from nowhere, really, and immediately make their impression on the first team. This isn't going to be the case for George Lewis. Like I said, sort of using those examples of Martinelli and Guendouzi, both of those were still fairly big money signings. When Arsenal signed Guendouzi for about 8 million, I can't remember what the fee was for Martinelli. It was a little bit less than that, but it's still, you know, a fairly substantial fee, even though he came from the fourth tier of Brazilian football. But, you know, Lewis is nothing like that, and it's going to be a free transfer, and he won't be going to link up with Mikel Arteta's first team squad. Should the transfer go through, he will instead go with Steve Bold with the under-23s, and that's where he'll be playing his football next season, if the transfer goes through, because it's at the moment it hasn't gone through. I know that there have been discussions, people at Arsenal who have sort of been leading the potential for a move for George to come over here, who have been impressed by him during the trial. Hopefully it will be going through, but now it's in the hands of, you know, sort of contract negotiations Husfami, and also agents as well. So it's not done yet, but it's certainly one that Arsenal are looking to push through, and he will, like I said, come in and join up with Steve Bold and the under-23. So it's not one, it's not your big money signing. It's not one that everyone's going to be celebrating from the rooftops or anything like that. But it's another sort of exciting young addition, possibly for the academy ranks. He's young, he's fast, very quick. I mean, that's his key attributes. People I've spoken to about him say he's very, very quick. He can beat a man. He's got a lot of tricks. Plays on the right wing, but can operate in any of the positions across the front three, really. Left foot, not the strongest, but he can work on it. But yeah, predominantly likes to play off the right hand side, and if he is playing off the left, then he likes to cut inside and get on his right foot, kind of like the opposite of Nicolas Pepe, in a way. But obviously a lot lower down in terms of what he's achieved in his career than Nicolas Pepe. But that's what Arsenal are trying to get done potentially, so it could well see that addition happen at some point. Like I said, it doesn't have to happen during the transfer window because he's a free agent, so it could happen at any stage really from now to throughout the summer. But it's one that Arsenal at the moment are working on, and we could well see George Lewis become an Arsenal player at some point in the near future. Interesting one just to add on it. On the end of this video, Henrik Mkhitaryan, I spoke about him on my last video here with the quotes coming out from Italy about his message to Arsenal saying he wants to stay in Rome. There have been interesting developments with that today. Mino Raiola, who we all know, Mkhitaryan's agent, one of the super agents in world football, has come out and labelled it false. So it's not that, you know, there was no message. It was fake news. What was reported in Italy was not the case, which is quite interesting. And fair enough, but Zlatan Ibrahimovic, another of Raiola's comments, has taken to Twitter and said, no, it is real news. I imagine Zlatan's joking, just trying to wind Raiola up, but it's been an interesting little subplot in the thing that's going on today. But I don't think it changes much, whatever happens. If it wasn't a proper quote from Mkhitaryan, I'd be surprised at why it's emerged in Italy if he didn't say it. You know, where the Corriere dello Sport have got that from, which was the paper that ran the story about Mkhitaryan's message to Arsenal. But you know, Raiola said it's not the case, and I suppose you got to trust Raiola and believe that Mkhitaryan didn't say it. But it doesn't change too much, I don't think. Mkhitaryan will want to go. Roma will probably want to keep him because he's done well there, and Arsenal certainly wouldn't stand in his way if they can get him off the wage bill. So I still think that's one that you could potentially see happen this summer in terms of outgoing to Arsenal and Henrik Mkhitaryan making that move to Roma permanent. But as it stands, according to Mino Raiola, the quotes that we saw from Mkhitaryan yesterday and the perceived message to Arsenal about him wanting to stay in Rome was fake news. That's about it for today. Just a short one. Just thought I'd update you mainly on the Arsenal's interest in George Lewis. I'll be back fairly soon to do another one of these videos. Until then, stay safe, everyone. Enjoy the sunshine and speak to you soon.